All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Okay, guys, Bitcoin is seeing a bit more of a pump today, and yesterday we were at our pitchfork midline. We did get that double bottom sort of from the pitchfork midline with bullish absorption. We did long that area of support. Now, at the end of yesterday's video, or during yesterday's video, we had come up to that daily level. It was around 106. Let's just throw that daily level on real quick. I deleted it because we ran through it, but let's throw it on there real quick. And we can look at that daily level. There we go, daily. And let's zoom back in onto the hourly chart. You can see that we came up to that daily level that just closed. You know, it was a fresh daily level. We came up to that daily level and we did see a little bit of a wick past that daily level, but no candle closes on the hourly above that daily level. And we did get a bit of a rejection from that daily level, which we were looking at as a possibility yesterday. No, I did not take that short. But as we rejected from that daily level overnight, as I was sleeping, we continued to grind down. And we came this morning to backtest our range value area high. So let me just throw this range on. And you can see this range value area high. Let's just pull it back to here. This morning, after breaking above, after bouncing from the pitchfork midline, coming up to the daily, seeing a small rejection from the daily, we were able to push back down and we were back testing this value area high. Now, this value area high historically in this range since May 8th, we had every time we had come up to the value area high of the range, we were seeing rejections from the value area high of the range. Just recently here, we started seeing some strength where we were able to break above it on the weekend. Yes, we did made new highs over the weekend, creating a weekend high. And I do talk about these weekend highs and weekend lows oftentimes. So yesterday in the video, I talked about weekend high. We had a weekend high. We also yesterday during the video came up to our local 886 Fibonacci. So if we do a Fibonacci pull from the weekend high, Sunday high to the Sunday low, and we turn on our 886 level, you can see that we did reject from the daily and the 886 level and saw that back that little bit of a drop here, but we had finally broken above the value area high of our range that had rejected us many times throughout this range forming, and we were closing the daily above it. So with us coming back down this morning during New York Open, we came down overnight this morning into New York Open to back test that value area high. And upon the back test of this value area high, if we zoom in here locally and we look at the back test of this value area high here, we were seeing some lower time frame bull divs on the chart coming in here on NAMI. We were seeing bull divs on NAMI. We were also seeing our money flow rise to the upside as we were coming in here. Bull divs on the money flow on NAMI. And as soon as we reclaimed this value area high, I did long here at around 104.8. So I waited a little bit up into this area, 104.8-ish, long the value area high. Because we did hit the 886, that gave us a higher probability to come take out the weekend highs. And we often know that weekend highs and weekend lows get taken out. So what happened? We bounced from the value area high. We continued to rise up. And even locally earlier today during the stream, Discord stream, we came back down, back tested our macro range value area high, flipped that to support, was able to hold that as support. And then we continued up to take out our weekend highs. You can see weekend highs right here. We had an SFP of the weekend highs, and then we had an SFP of the SFP very shortly afterwards. And we did get that drop down to the VWAP, which was a good scalp trade if you did get into that scalp trade. Now, overall, Bitcoin is still showing strength, making higher highs and higher lows on the chart. We are flipping our local range value area high to support. Bitcoin is showing strength. No bearish price action, really. No bearish breaks of structure too much within this range that is forming. And Bitcoin continues to want to push higher and higher. Now, I know I've been talking about a distribution pattern in the making. And after hitting this 886 yesterday, we do have to flip our bias to a model 1 distribution rather than a model 2, which would be a tap 1 here, tap 2 here, or we could even move this tap 2 to here because that's not a lot of time in between those taps. So if we do come up, and I am thinking locally now because we are still seeing strength for the day, Bear divs are all over the chart. I do want to say that. Bear divs are all over the chart. But with us continuing bullish market structure and continuing to flip levels of what used to be resistance into support, and even locally flipping the macro value area high to support earlier today, I do think it's possible that we could work our way up to this naked daily point of control around 107,866, 107,867. And this, if we do come up here and reject from this area, that could give us our third tap. So a tap 1, tap 2 here, and then a tap 3 up here, creating that Model 1 distribution where we then could see a bigger dump to the downside. And the reason why I'm thinking we could still get a distribution from this area is because the significant amount of bear divs that are on the chart. You can see here higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the momentum waves. Our money flow overall is coming out on the hourly. If we look at NAMI, we do have bear divs here as well locally, and bear divs on money flow on NAMI. If we zoom out to the 4-hour chart here, 4-hour chart, we are developing some bear divs more regionally here, all through this range. Bear divs are forming, and our money flow is draining out of the asset as these bear divs are forming. If we look more locally on NAMI, we do from Sunday's highs to today's highs, we have multiple drives of bear div on the chart. Also, money flow even today is showing bear divs on the money flow on NAMI. So we are seeing some bearish signals come in on the charts. Bitcoin continues to rise, and until we break market structure bearishly, we do have to expect Bitcoin to continue to at least range or to even continue pumping to the upside. I mean, flipping this value area high and backtesting it as support and continuing to make new highs is bullish for Bitcoin. There's no doubt about that. So with our higher time frame bear divs, medium and high time frame bear divs, I do think that we could still get a rejection in a distribution pattern, but Bitcoin does want to seem to continue to push up. And if we break the naked daily point of control at 107,867-ish, we're going to come take the all-time highs. I mean, there's nothing else stopping us from taking those all-time highs. So looking for two levels of resistance, the naked daily point of control and the SFP of the all-time highs into our pitchfork band. I would say this, on the daily chart, you can see we're trying to curve up again here on the daily chart, and our money flow continues to rise to the upside here. But another major thing that I've been talking about recently is NAMI printing these hidden bull divs. And anytime NAMI prints a hidden bull div on the charts, that's a really bullish signal, because NAMI is really good at when those hidden bull divs print on NAMI, it's a really good indicator of continuation. So you can see now we have printed that hidden bull div on the daily, and we've already continued to make new highs. But I do think Bitcoin locally could even come up a bit higher here, up into that naked daily point of control. Yes, we did have a clean SFP and a scalp off that SFP, but right now Bitcoin is continuing to show strength. You can see even locally here, drop to the VWAP, bounce from the VWAP, continue pushing up here. So right now Bitcoin is looking pretty strong, and I do think we can continue to push up. We'll see how this plays out. Let me get rid of that now, those weekend highs. I'm going to get rid of this daily now. And yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's looking good. If we go turn on our periodic volume profile and we look at our naked daily point of control. Now, the day hasn't closed yet. I'm making this video a little bit early today, but we will have a new naked daily point of control, and that is going to be around 106.2, 106.220. I'm not going to mark that out quite yet because there is still a possibility we do not confirm this naked daily point of control, but that will be, if we do continue to climb up locally, that could be an area of support where we could come down, hit that naked daily point of control, and continue up to our resistance. Let's go on to our liquidation heat map, and I do want to look at the last 12 hours of price action, and let me make sure, let's see here, Model 3, let's go on to Bybit. All right, we did take a majority of the liquidity that was above us. Let's see, where was that at? That was on our Model 2 heat map. Yeah, we did take a majority of the liquidity that was above us, but we do still now have some local liquidity that is still raising above us. You can see right into that naked daily point of control around 107.8 to 108K. And that is pretty much right where that naked daily point of control is. So if we do continue to see bear divs printing on the chart as we are coming up to that level, I will attempt to short at that level. I am not going to be setting a limit order there hoping that it plays out. I will set an alert close by. We can actually do that right now. And if we do come up to that area, seeing continued bull divs on medium time frames and bear divs, continued bear divs on medium time frames, and we do see continued bear divs on lower time frames, or new sets of bear divs on lower time frames, then I will be looking for that short opportunity from that area. So I'm still in the long. I'm in the long from the back test of the midline. I also did a scalp long earlier today from here, the back test of the value area high. And that's why I'm looking for hedge shorts, because if you're in longs and they're printing, that's good. But you also want to hedge against yourself, because if we are going to see that bigger distribution from the naked daily point of control, you just want to make sure you're getting into that trade when you have the opportunity, if you have the opportunity. Now, if we do not reject from this naked daily point of control, we are going to come up to the all-time highs. And you can see our all-time high on Coinbase is around 109,358, and it is within our pitchfork band of resistance here. Now, I would like us to continue ranging for a bit. It would be nice to see that, where we continue ranging for a bit, maybe reject from the naked daily point of control, come all the way down, take out our Sunday lows that haven't been taken out yet. And by the time we get up to that all-time high, we would be seeing an SFP of the all-time high into the pitchfork band. That would be ideal to see. That does not mean we are going to see that, but that is something that I will be looking for. It would also give us more time for our distribution pattern to play out. But this is it. That's pretty much it for Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin is looking strong. If we go onto our CVD and open interest, right now, very, very locally, we are seeing some bearish CVD absorption on the charts. Lower highs on the price action, higher highs on the CVD, and our open interest overall is increasing in that area. It could be leading CVD, though, because, I mean, yes, we did SFP the weekend highs, but we are still seeing strength. And all we have to do is break our very local highs that we made just a couple hours ago to invalidate that bearish CVD. As far as our money flow goes on Market Cipher B, it is looking like we could invalidate that bearish CVD by taking out those highs into the naked daily point of control. And let's go back to this liquidation heat map. Yeah, we do still have that liquidity that's locally just above us into that naked daily point of control. So that would be nice to see. Okay, moving on to Ethereum. Now, Ethereum did get that rejection yesterday. In yesterday's video, I gave you guys, as far as the range goes, we have a range that we're playing. Let's zoom out onto the hourly chart. And the only level of resistance that I gave that I said you could look for a scalp short on was this area where we had that naked daily point of control in confluence with our golden pocket from the top of the channel to the bottom of the channel, the top of the range to the bottom of the range. If we turn on that golden pocket, you can see that golden pocket was coming in right at our pitchfork band, right at our naked daily point of control. And we did continue to push up into this area yesterday, and we did see a rejection and a nice, very nice scalp position. And I said, play the range until it breaks. So this is our area to look for a short in the range. If we pull that volume profile and we look at the range, you could short the area of resistance just to the bottom of the range. And sure enough, when we got to the bottom of the range earlier today, we did see a small bounce from the bottom of the range. Came down a little bit more to our anchored VWAP. We held our anchored VWAP. This is from our cycle highs as support, and we're continuing. We still have not seen a clean breakout of this channel, though. And I did say in yesterday's video, we could fake out of this channel up into this resistance and then drop back in, and that's what we did do. Now, after dropping back in, you can see we back tested it, and that's when we made that new low into the anchored VWAP. But because the anchored VWAP did hold, we are pushing and breaking back out of the channel again. We are right now at our local golden pocket pulled from yesterday's high to today's low, and we are hitting that golden pocket, which could be an internal resistance, but I do think we are going to continue higher. It looks like this channel does want to break out, and we do want to make our way up to this purple box between 2760 and 2820. and at least up to our new daily level. You can see our new daily level at 26.79 or really 26.80. And that would also grab the liquidity of the second pivot of the channel. Oftentimes when you break out of a channel, you'll grab at least the liquidity of the second pivot, if not the liquidity of the entire channel. So that's what I'm looking at here on Ethereum. Ethereum is looking pretty strong overall. We do not see near as many bear divs on Ethereum as we do on Bitcoin. We were seeing those bear divs coming up here in that rising channel, and I did tell you guys about that, and we did get that drop from that. And overall money flow is still leaving the asset and crossing into the, about to cross into the red. So if we do come up and make another high into our purple box, it could give us another drive of bear divs where we could look for a short from this area. But overall, if we zoom out on Ethereum, I do want to talk about this because Ethereum still is in that most probably in an impulse, a double 1-2 impulse as far as Elliott pattern goes. So, 1-2, 1-2. We saw our big three here. And where were we looking for support? Between the 382 and the 0.5. If I go on to this chart here and we look at that, we go ahead here. Let's turn on our wave for targets, and you can see where did we bounce at the 382. So this does confirm that this could be a fourth wave corrective wave. It also looks more corrective before seeing another 5. So what I'm looking at here overall on Ethereum is a 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5 up into our 2800 weekly. We also have a daily level up there. Then we could see it one more 4 and then one more 5 up to about 3100 to 3300. And that is where I would expect the bigger overall double 1-2 impulse on Ethereum to end. And after that ends, we do expect a bigger correction to the downside to overall make a higher low on the charts and then continue pushing upwards on Ethereum. But this is kind of what I'm expecting. So I am looking for Ethereum to continue to break out. You can see we're chopping around the midline of the pitchfork right now. Overall, looks like we're trying to hold it, and we are holding that anchored VWAP once again. So I am expecting us to push up to that 28.19 level, 28.16, 28.19. Okay, that is it for Ethereum. Now let's go on to Solana. Solana is showing just chopping around within the pitchfork still. Sorry, there's a lot to look. I got to delete some stuff on this chart. I was just playing around with Solana in the Discord. So Solana as well. The one trade I gave you guys yesterday was a short trade from our local resistance. And that was going to be our naked daily point of control in confluence with our 786, in confluence with our daily level. And last night during the video, we continued, or after the video, we continued to pump up to that area. We saw a very clear and clean rejection from that area and dropped back down to our pitchfork band of support. That would have been a great scalp where as soon as you started bouncing from that pitchfork band of support, you could have TP'd right there. And we got 2 tries on the pitchfork band of support, the lower part of the band. We are bouncing. You can also see our value area low of the range is around that area. We had a deviation of that range into the pitchfork band of support. Now we're reclaiming that, bouncing from VWAP and continuing to push up here on Solana. So I do think Solana does look a little bit more corrective as well in this range, and we can expect Solana to keep pushing up higher. I do think still overall, Solana is wanting to come up to this $195 to $200 level, which would also be the top of the pitchfork now. If we can continue to kind of grind sideways within this range, if we see a true breakout, break up to that macro 0.65 value area high of our more macro range, up into our purple box, which would be near the top of the pitchfork. But overall, Solana's looking pretty good, holding its structure so far. I mean, this looks far more corrective than impulsive to the downside. And this could be, after seeing a corrective move here to the downside, we could be starting another impulse on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that up to the top of the pitchfork. We'll see how that plays out, but I do think Solana is looking overall pretty good here. Money flow kind of trying to curve to the upside again on the hourly chart. No real bear divs on Solana. Like Bitcoin has a lot more bear divs than the altcoins do. And I'm going to go into Bitcoin dominance. Actually, I'll go into that right now here. Bitcoin dominance. We are seeing that rejection from the golden pocket. And Here's the thing on Bitcoin dominance. Let's go on to the 4-hour chart. We did get that rejection from the top of the channel that I was showing you guys a couple weeks ago. We dropped down to the midline. We saw a bounce from the midline, but we broke all this bullish market structure bearishly. So our first bearish break in market structure on higher time frames. Since we have broke market structure bearishly, now what can you do? You can look for a lower high to come in on the charts to continue the bearish market structure down. So if we are going to put in a lower high, where's your most probable scenario to put in a lower high? From the golden pocket. So we have finally pushed up on Bitcoin dominance up into that golden pocket, and we are seeing a bit of a rejection so far from our golden pocket. If altcoins are going to pump and Bitcoin's going to continue to range for a bit, or Bitcoin could even dump a little bit while some of the altcoins pump, we would expect this rejection from the golden pocket. We would expect Bitcoin dominance to drop back down in a bigger ABC correction, and we would expect altcoins to rally against Bitcoin. And I do think we could see something very similar to that. Okay, so that is it for Solana. That is it for Bitcoin dominance. And let's go on to SUI. SUI is just continuing to chop within the range. You can see we're at the top of the channel. We didn't make it up to our resistance that I talked about in yesterday's video yet, but you can see we kind of are coming up to that daily level. We didn't quite hit the daily level, but we're finding resistance at the top of the channel. And we are still within this descending channel. Really all that I'm looking for, if we reject from the top of this channel, I'm not looking for a short from here, but if we do reject from the top of the channel, to come down to the midline and that golden pocket that we front ran, see a bounce from there, and then maybe a break out of the channel and a continuation upwards. But overall, this price action that we're seeing in this descending channel looks far more corrective, and it does look like SUI wants more upside. Let's go ahead and pull our volume profile here. You can see we are rejecting from the point of control, which is also the top of the channel. If we lose our value area low, there is a possibility that we could come down to this golden pocket. Now you can see our value area high is at our resistance that we marked out yesterday that we have not come to yet. So I will be looking for a rejection of a fake out of the channel into the golden pocket, into the value area high. We have a local internal liquidity grab there as well. And that is what I would be looking for, kind of like we saw on Ethereum yesterday and today, I guess you should say, last night. So that is pretty much it for SUI. We not really are developing any bear divs like we were seeing on Bitcoin. And this is why I'm saying, with the Bitcoin dominance dropping, and with altcoins and Bitcoin seeing a lot of bear divs and altcoins are not seeing those bear divs, maybe we are going to see a rally on altcoins against Bitcoin, where Bitcoin sees a bit of a drop because the bear divs to the bottom of the range and altcoins pump to new highs. Okay, guys, I do have a couple partners of the channel. I have BYDFI. They are giving a 15% bonus cash back on your first deposit, up to $1,000 cash back. 15% cash back. This is a no KYC exchange, no VPN required. You can just sign up with just an email and a password. Link is in the description below. They are also offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you trade. And they do have different VIP levels of trading discounts. So you'll get at least a 17% discount on your trading fees if you sign up using my link, but you can get up to 45% off your trading fees depending on how much you deposit. Links in the description for that. The other exchange, my other partner, is MEXC. You can get up to 10% cash back on your initial deposit and up to $20,000 in futures trading bonuses. Link is in the description for MEXC as well. And then finally, we have NAMI, this new indicator down here that I've been using. Really, really great, especially the hidden bull signals are really key and legit on this. And there is a link in the description to purchase this. And I do have a 50% off discount code in the description as well if you are interested in that. Okay, on to XRP. Now, XRP did come down to our level of support that we had marked out. And you can see we also we're still rejecting from that big area, that macro golden pocket and everything. But yeah, we came down to our golden pocket, naked daily point of control. Let's zoom in a bit more here. And yeah, that was Sunday. So Sunday we did bounce from our area of support. I guess we're leaving it on the chart for now, because I don't think we've hit the naked daily yet. Let's see. Yeah, we did hit the naked daily. Okay, so let's get rid of this naked daily point of control, and let's get rid of this box because we've bounced from this box. And you can see we did just come up to the point of control in the anchor VWAP, which, yes, I did say this in yesterday's video. If we come up to this area and we reject from this area, we could continue to drop on XRP. Now, overall, XRP is not really dropping, but it's until we can reclaim this point of control, XRP is in danger of dropping lower. And you can see that's also where the anchored VWAP from the all-time highs is. So let's just look at our little range. We could play the range until it breaks. So we'll grab our volume profile, look at this little range. You can see after seeing a deviation of our value area low, hitting that naked daily point of control in that golden pocket zone that I just deleted, we bounced up to our large range point of control. We're seeing a rejection, but now we're dropping and finding a higher low at our value area low of our smaller range. Let's pull our golden pocket here. And golden pocket was very close by. That was the area we were kind of looking at yesterday for a local bounce, value area low, golden pocket. And you can see overall, we did see some wicks past it, but overall it's holding, and we are trying to make another push up here on XRP. But XRP's looking pretty boring here. Not a lot is happening, and we're just consolidating. As long as XRP is below our point of control, we probably could see more downside. But if we can reclaim this point of control, not only do I think we could come back up to this purple box of resistance, but we could break out and come much higher. So let's just kind of watch that on XRP. It's looking overall not too bad. As far as bear divs go, if we go on to the 4-hour, we were seeing those bear divs coming up into the top of the channel. And since then, our money flow has crossed over into the red, telling me that we could see some more downside here. NAMI was showing some local bull divs into our naked daily point of control in our golden pocket. We got the bounce from that, but now those bull divs have kind of played out with us rejecting from the point of control. And it's looking a little bit likely that XRP continues to grind, or we're going to see a little bit more downside on XRP. But overall, it's not looking too bad. It's still looking like it just wants to continue to range within our bigger range, and we can probably expect more upside after visiting. We do have this naked daily point of control at 210, 209.85. If we do come down to that, that's around our value area low. That would be an area to look for a bounce. We would grab our lows from last Tuesday and then see a push up. But as long as we're in this volume profile, we can just trade the range. And this is our more macro range that goes all the way back to December. Okay, that is it for XRP. Nothing a lot happened there. And then lastly, Chainlink. Chainlink is flipping that pitchfork band to support. And you can see earlier today, let's zoom in onto the hourly chart. We did take out Sunday's highs, just like Bitcoin did. So weekend highs were taken out. We SFP'd the weekend highs, and we dropped today back down to our pitchfork band of support, but it is holding a support now. So after breaking above it, you can see multiple times support here, support here, support again today. So local liquidity grab of weekend highs. Maybe we do still come for the weekend lows, but overall, Chainlink isn't looking too bad, and it is holding the pitchfork band as support. Now, as long as this pitchfork band holds as support, we are going to work our way up to our next levels of resistance above. And overall, Chainlink looks pretty good. 4-hour chart. Yeah, money flow is crossing into the red, so we do have to be aware of that. We could see, if we do lose this upper band, which is around 15.3-ish, then we could drop to our box of support that we have below, which is our 786. It's a pitchfork band, the bottom of the pitchfork band, and our point of control of our bigger range. And that is going to be around 14.3. That's about it, guys. I mean, not a lot is happening today with the coins. We're just ranging still. Bitcoin's pumping a little bit. All coins are looking like they want to hold support and pop off. I do still want to warn about the distribution pattern. I am looking for still a distribution pattern in this possible area here. But until we start to see some weakness on Bitcoin, we just trade the levels if we see confirmation. Trade our local levels if we see confirmation. That's about it. You guys have a good one. I will see you tomorrow.